you tell me you're ready to get this thing started. So Texas, are you ready to get this party started?
Chester Moore, Executive Editor of Texas Fish and Game Magazine, here at the 2010 ICAST show. Final day, wrapping the show up. And here we have, ladies and gentlemen, Larry the Lizard. How you doing, Larry?
Very good. Thank you very much.
You just showed me a lizard that would scare most fish that I've ever caught.
Well, I'll tell you what, it scares most fish and it scares most fishermen, but
catches big ones?
This lizard eats bass for breakfast.
I like that.
This thing is different. I brought this down to Lake Fork in 2007, and they told me, we got the iguana, we got the zoom, we got this and that, we don't need anything, we've never heard of you. I said, well, okay, here we go. I'm going to show you what this is all about. It's got a 4mm glass rattle chamber in the tail. It's got a specially designed flange or hinge that allows that to whip back and forth. Gives you 5 times more sound in the water to call those fish with the distress signal.
Very interesting.
Most lizards have a cylinder-shaped body, so they go through the water and it looks like a stick with a little bit of movement on the back. Doesn't even look normal. This has a planer board back, a hole-shaped bottom. It's got pinch rib grooves on the back for weedless fishing. And this thing is a real-live salamander without being a real-live salamander, water dog, which catches monstrous fish. When I first started testing this in Colorado, it was 34-degree water temperature, 2 above freezing. Average fish in Colorado is about a pound. I was pulling in 4.5 to 6 pound bass on this thing.
That'd be like a shearlunker in Texas.
Exactly.
I'm talking about big bass, tough condition. Where I'm fishing, that is a nice big bass. Yeah, got a good one. Come on, baby. Look at this. Look at this, off the lizard. The lizard, baby. It's November 17th. Water's really cold, about 36 degrees. Hey, Boogs, grab that scale you just had. Look at the size of that fish. Now that's probably a 4-pound fish. Look how big that fish is. That's off. Larry the Lizard right there.
Exactly. So I said, I've got to get this down to Texas. I've got to get this where the guys that really fish for bass can see what this is all about. And after I went down and showed them what it was about, I had to move to Lake Fork.
Well, where else?
I know. The place I had always dreamed about going, now that's where I live. It's my backyard, and it's awesome there. The fishing is just tremendous. I've never seen a fishery like that.
Now talk about what's the biggest fish you caught at Fork on a lizard?
13 and a half.
13 and a half.
And I'm hoping for something a little bigger than that. But average day I go out and fish this thing any time of the year, I can at least get an 8.
How does someone learn more about Larry the Lizard?
Well, you can go to LarryTheLizardCustomBaits.com. You can just type in Larry the Lizard for bass, and it'll come up, Larry the Lizard. And you can see video on there. You can go to the website. And I've just introduced 2 new baits for ICAST, put them in the new product showcase. I've got 8 more scheduled to come out. I'll probably bring out 2 more next year. And there's something else.
All right, man. Thanks for your time.
Hey, I really appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Hi Larry, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you very much.
Now they call you Larry the Lizard. Now what's with the name there, Larry?
Well,
My name is Larry, and they call me the Lizard.
The Lizard.
I went down to Lake Fork about 3 years ago. I'm originally from Colorado, but now I live on Lake Fork, and I went down to test out the 10-inch Rattling Larry the Lizard. And I went down there in 2007, January 17th, booked one of the best guides on the lake, Larry Barnes, and it just happened to be 23 degrees and snowing, the worst cold front in Texas in 20 years. So we're sitting there drinking coffee and thinking about where we're going to go on the lake, and he says, son, you better go in there and buy a rattle trap or a crankbait, because you ain't going to catch nothing on that big old lizard on this lake. And I looked at him and I said, Larry, no offense, sir, but not only am I going to catch fish today, I'm going to catch a bigger fish than you. And at the end of the day, he was a believer, and they started stocking me on the bait shops out there. So that was 3 years ago, and now we're at iCast, and I've just introduced the 6-inch Rattling Larry the Lizard in the new product showcase, and the 4-inch Rattling Frog and Craw. And these are dynamic baits. These are just fish catching fools. The 10-inch Rattling Larry the Lizard averages 4 to 8 pound fish on every lake in the country I've ever fished it.
All right, fill one on. Fill one on. Ready? Oh, there it is. There it is. I think we got tired fish here.
How big a fish is that, Larry?
Oh, that's 4.5 pounds. Yeah. That fish is tired.
Nice fish, Larry.
Yeah. On the Lizard. On the Lizard, Lake Fork. This fish trying to bite me. Last time I got one out of here, it bit my thumb. Big bass over here like to bite. Now I don't know how big that fish is, but
Personal thank you to Larry for the baits that he sent me. They are really neat. These are big fish baits. I mean, I will put these dudes to use. I guarantee you that.
yeah, baby. All right. That's a Lake Fork bass right there.
Just about every
That was the first color, so that's doing well right now.
Very well. We're out of Louisiana, that's what we're on. And on any body of water we went to this year, we've caught them.
Here's a part of good deal.
That's a good looking color. Hang on, let me zoom in on that. It's wiggling where.
Oh, that's a good fish, young man. Fish, young man.
All right. I'm Larry the Lizard. We're here at Monticello Lake down in Texas.
Hold him up a little higher.
All right.
That's a good fish, you betcha.
Nice good sized fish there.
Yeah.
Off Larry the Lizard. Baby barf is the color, if you ever try to get that color. Boy, that sucked in there good.
Yeah, you had him good.
That fish took it right on the fall, right in them weeds. Deep in the weeds. That's a nice. Let's hurry up, he's getting heavy.
On top of the tank here, it's my pleasure to introduce Larry. Larry took his product and came out here to Lake Fork and has actually set this up in shops around the area and has been distributing this bait. And so you'll find it in a lot of the stores here over at the Meadowbucket, over Lake Fork Marina.
Everybody's got a little different style, a little different bait, and that one sounds like it's even constructed different than most of the soft ones we've been looking at. How do you work that bait?
Well, those big plastics, which are very effective, especially in the pre-spawn like this, you have to reel them real slow and kind of twitch it and jerk it, and it looks like a wounded fish. So it's the right size to catch a lot of fish, but it's also big enough to catch big fish. So that thing was on fire.
We've seen you bring some of these fish in on the day, and today really a perfect day for that bait.
And I'm talking about Colorado, where the fish are about a pound. I average 4.5 pounders in Colorado.
Now, are you going to guarantee me that I can go to Oregon and I can catch big fish with these things here?
I guarantee you that you will catch fish on these, and I don't care if you even know how to fish or even hook it up right.
Well, I'm a steelhead fisherman. I'm a trout fisherman, and I do catch bass.
Okay, guess what? You're going to catch bass, trout, walleye, pike, muskie. You're going to catch the gamut of fish on these, but these are custom bass baits.
Yeah.
They're specifically designed for bass. You're going to pull in a lot more bass, but you're going to get a pike, you're going to get a muskie.
You're gonna get a catfish. You're gonna get a crappie. I had a 2.5 pound crappie hit this thing at the Toyota Texas Bass Classic in the tank.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to tell you right now. You sent me home with a few of these. I'm going to give you a report back from Oregon, and we've got some largemouth bass lakes there. We've also got some smallmouth. Well, the North Umpqua River. You may have heard of that.
I have.
The North Umpqua River, one of the best smallmouth bass fisheries, only about an hour from where I'm at. And I will report back to you and let you know whether or not Larry the lizard caught smallmouth, and the biggest smallmouth that's been caught in Oregon. What do you think?
I'll take the Pepsi challenge any day of the week. Here you go.
Thanks, Larry.
Thank you very
really
much.
A pleasure.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it.
All right, it's great to have you guys out here at the Texas Bass Classic. Place third. Pretty cool, huh?
All right, I'm gonna zoom in. Stanley Brown, the fishing clown. Oh, what's that? What's that in your hat? What is that? Oh.
Guys, let me give y'all one of these cards in case you do want to order.
Okay.
That's the website. All right, thanks so much.
Everything has been rooted. The hospitality, the fish, and the love. Show them how we party, Texas style.